Hello, YouTube and Substack. Let me get my Instagram rolling. Go live. 1 second. La, la, la. Instagram. There we go. All right, there's Substack. Copy. Paste. There we go. Instagram. Oops. Mute myself. All right. We got a couple Substackers already. That's good. Oops. What am I doing here? All right, there we go. All right, hey, MAGA or MAGA hater, and Zia. All right, I think we're good. All right, TikTok. I'm ready to start TikTok. There we go. Tic-tac, as Trump calls it, tic-tac. Ready to start tic-tac. All right. TikTok is rolling. Flip the screen, and we are good. Woo-woo. Excellent. There we go. Hello, everybody. Oh, all right. Hey, guys. Busy day today. Busy. Pull up my notes for the show. And we are ready. Welcome, everybody. Oop, that was yesterday's. Niet, I don't want yesterday's notes. I want today's notes. Here we go. There's some really good polling, too, that I'm going to get into with you. That was really good. I was very, very glad to see it. I see, because I've got it sideways. That's why. There we go. Anyway, the polling is really good. So, about Ukraine and Russia and stuff. Hey, Tiger in Germany, in Deutschland. Anyway, welcome, everybody. John Aravosis here. We talk about the latest news. We're going to start with Epstein stuff and then get into the reflecting pool and everything else. And you name it. Hey, mama. Anyway, oh, boy. Oh, sorry, guys. Oh, still don't sleep too well. I mean, I've been sleeping a little longer, but I still wake up every couple hours. It's very annoying. Anyway, welcome, guys. The way the show works is I go through the news and we talk about it. And then towards the end, we have a little bit of free time at the end for us to kind of freelance and talk about whatever you want. Yoni, I'm always Yoni. I'm also Yanni in Greek, which is my name. I'm a Yanni. But remember, you can give gifts, and I like when you give gifts because I do this for a living. So your gifts are very welcome. Thank you, Andy. And you could do memberships or super fans. On TikTok, they're called super fans. On YouTube, they're called members. Everywhere else, same kind of concept. But basically, you become a monthly subscriber, which is very sweet of you because it helps support my work and makes me go yay. So thank you for that. All right. So let's get rolling, guys. So the Epstein stuff, there was a good amount of Epstein news today. None of it good. The Trump people kind of shot themselves in the foot. Honestly, what do you do? I mean, I'm not defending them, but like Donald Trump is the biggest Epstein cover-up guy on the planet, right? He's desperate. We know this. Even the MAGA people are pissed at Trump because of this, right? So, the fact that J.D. Vance and Todd Blanche, who's the Attorney General nominee who was testifying before Congress today, the fact that they are freaking out and don't know what to say makes sense because probably neither of them is thrilled about Epstein, right? But Donald Trump is in a panic to cover up everything Epstein. So what happens today? Todd Blanche, first of all, says, well, we've released everything we can. He claims, again, the man is such a pathological liar. He's he's going to be our new attorney general, MAGA activist, horrible MAGA activist. He was Trump's personal lawyer. You can imagine anybody who would be Trump's personal lawyer, right? And he goes, well, we weren't allowed to release any Epstein files until the law passed. Thank you, running for the gift. And you're like, what? You weren't allowed to release any Epstein files? Are you insane? Total liar. We weren't allowed. And then the law passed, but the law only let us share half the files. You know how they released like 3 million files and there's like 6 million total? The law only let us release half of them. No, the law did not let you release them. The law forced you to release them because Donald Trump was refusing to release them. The law was a stick hitting you saying release them. The law was not permission to release them. You already had permission. Second of all, they've got 2.5 million or so files. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, Cheryl. Cool gift. Very cool gift. The law had there were like 3 million files they released, or 3 million documents, pages they released. There's another million or 2.5 million they haven't, and they're refusing. They're just refusing. And honestly, the MAGA folks were the ones that have the most influence. I'm not sure why they have let Trump get away with the cover-up, but they have. J.D. Vance then weighs in today, and I mean, I'm going to pull up the tape because it was insane. J.D. Vance is on Joe Rogan's show today and had two different, thank you, Brown-Eyed, my pink cowgirl outfit. Hang on, I'm trying to get my, come on. My iPad is being a little slow. It's having some RAM issues. Here we go. Here we go, J.D. Vance. Hello, Sadie. Thank you. Wow, very cool gift, Sadie. Thank you for that. So I almost missed it looking for the J.D. Vance video. Thank you for that. So let me play the longer clip first and then the shorter clip of J.D. Vance talking about the files, okay, to Joe Rogan.
What I have seen, and I've looked at most of the files, is that they're...
Okay, hold on here. What I have seen, and I've looked at most of the files, there's 6 million pages. I did the math. I said, you know what? Let's be generous. Let's say that he looked at each page for 10 seconds, because you do a quick 10-second look and look for Donald Trump's name or anything vaguely that says the president or something like that, and then you skip to the next one, right? So let's pretend that that's what this is driving me. It is a reflection from the window. I said, let's pretend it's 10 seconds a page, 6 million pages, and then divide that by seconds, minutes, hours, days. If J.D. Vance looked through the files and didn't take a break to pee, sleep, or eat, it would have taken him 695 days to read the files. It would have taken him almost 2 years nonstop, no sleeping, no eating, no peeing, okay? If he went 12 hours a day, it would be 4 years. It would have taken J.D. Vance to go through these files. J.D. Vance did not go through most of the files. He's lying. Not surprising, but I think it's important to Evelyn Wood, somebody said in the comments, and I was like, oh my God, Evelyn Wood, remember that? Or Evelyn Woodhead, if you remember that. But so that's the first thing. He's lying. He went through all 6 million pages. Sure. And again, the thing that really gets me too is it's 6 million pages. How do you know there's nothing in there about Donald Trump? It's 6 million pages. Yeah, he did a keyword search. Exactly. Keyword, Trump, sexual abuse. Right? Right? I mean, right? So, okay.
What I have seen, and I've looked at most of the files, is that there just wasn't dispositive evidence. And if that dispositive evidence ever existed, it was probably destroyed after 2016.
Okay. There just wasn't dispositive evidence. What the hell does that? I'm a lawyer. What the hell does that mean? Dispositive evidence means sort of relevant evidence, or evidence that's kind of relevant is the word. He later on, in the second tape I'm going to play you, talks about credible there were no credible accusations that I could find. And you're like, so you mean there were accusations? Right? If he keeps saying there were no credible accusations, then it means there were accusations. There were just none that he finds credible. That's a little different than saying there was nothing in the files. Oh, there was something in the file, according to J.D. Vance. And there were accusations in the file, according to J.D. Vance. There just weren't any accusations that J.D. Vance found credible. Well, don't you think we have the right to decide if we think the accusations are credible? Let's go on.
2007. Now, again, in our defense, yes, was there some bitching and moaning, and was there some back and forth? Yes. But we eventually collected 6 million documents as part of the effort. The president, people say the president was forced into releasing the documents. Again, the idea that Donald Trump could not have killed that legislation, especially with the United States Senate, is a joke.
He didn't have a choice.
He absolutely couldn't killed it.
He didn't have a choice.
He actually said, nope, we're going to release these files. He thought,
he didn't release them.
By the story, he was annoyed by the Democrats accusing him of doing things bad. By the way, do I think there is I've never seen a single piece of credible evidence that the President of the United States engaged in wrongdoing with minors, ever.
Okay, I want you to listen very carefully to this. He then commits the cardinal sin of public relations in politics. When you're accused of something, you don't repeat the accusation. If they say, John, are you a murderer? You don't say, no, I am not a murderer. It's kind of the Richard Nixon problem, right? I am not a crook. As soon as you say, I am not a crook, everyone goes, first of all, he must be a crook. But second of all, you've got a tape of the president saying I'm not a crook, and that looks really bad for the president to say I'm not a crook. JD Vance, I want you to listen very carefully what JD Vance does here. First, he mentions the credible thing I told you, right? I saw no credible evidence. In other words, there was evidence of Trump wrongdoing. He just didn't agree with it. But then he says something else that blew my mind. I had to censor it to post it on TikTok and everything. JD Vance, speaking of Donald Trump, just said two things that I can't believe he said. Again, what you do is you say, there's no evidence of wrongdoing. The accusations are ridiculous or something. You don't repeat the accusations. Listen to what Vance does.
A single piece of credible evidence that the President of the United States engaged in wrongdoing with minors, ever. So
I've not seen a single piece of credible evidence that the President of the United States engaged in wrongdoing with minors. He's already talking about Donald Trump doing things to minors, which is really creepy. Even if you're denying it, saying it is really creepy, right? Actually, the adult thing is a good question too. Joshua just said only adults. That would be a good lawyer response. Exactly. But again, you just said the President of the United States didn't do minors. Like, you shouldn't even be saying that. I mean, you should be saying it's not true. Listen to this again. And then listen to the second part, which is worse.
Wrongdoing with minors.
Oh, sorry.
So evidence that the President of the United States engaged in wrongdoing with minors, ever. So like when the president says the hoax, that's what he's talking about, is this democratic idea that he somehow was a pedophile.
Wait for it.
It's absurd.
Did you hear what he said? He then repeats the accusation, because the reason he calls it a hoax is this crazy idea.
So like when the president says the hoax, that's what he's talking about, is this democratic idea that he somehow was a pedophile. It's absurd. There's no.
He used the P word for Donald Trump. Even though he's denying it, you don't do that. You don't say Donald Trump isn't a P-file. I can't even say the word. I don't want to. TikTok may not like it, so I don't want to say it. That's really weird. And he's a lawyer and he knows better. You don't do that. You literally don't put Donald Trump's name and that P word in the same sentence if you're defending him, because it's real. Oh, PDF. That's funny. It's really weird. It's really weird. Yeah. I don't think it's intentional. I don't know. I mean, you have to wonder. Thank you, son. Oh, very cool gift there. Ooh, thank you for Sage's Coinbot. I don't know what these descriptions ever mean, but that's a very cool gift. Thank you. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? That's a very specific denial, and it's a gross denial. Like, I don't even want to. Well, I can't use the word because, like I said, TikTok probably wouldn't like it. YouTube might not. TikTok definitely wouldn't. But also, you don't defend your boss by using that word. It's just very weird to me. It's very weird to me. Really fucking weird. Yeah. So anyway, let's go on. The reflecting pool. So let me pull up a photo here. They emptied the reflecting pool, the debacle, the ongoing debacle by the Lincoln Memorial, and they empty it out overnight because they're going to try to fix the lining. Well, they empty it out overnight, and all the media goes. And even though the fence is there, the media is able to film through the fence. And the media, I mean, I'm going to go, once the weather's better, I'm going to go back because it's 100 degrees today. I'm not going back there in 100-degree weather. But once the weather's better, you can go back. And I've got a fabulous Zoom camera that I bought especially for this purpose a couple of years ago for doing, media stuff. And well, the media was zooming in and they weren't finding any gashes in the sealant, right? I can't touch it. There's a fence, but they weren't finding. And the media all over since the last 24 hours, everyone's reporting and going, "Where's the gash? You said there was a huge 900-foot gash. Where is it? You can't see it." Yeah. Well, then what happens today? Let me find you the picture. CBS News posts, or actually others have posted it too. This is from a tweet by CBS News. They put tarp on the fence. They put, just like they did at the Kennedy Center and they did at the White House to hide everything, they put a tarp up to try to hide the pool. Hold on, check it out. The fence now has a black tarp on it so you can't see through. The only thing that's really stupid is all you have to do is walk up the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, which is what this person did, and you can see over the tarp. So what's the freaking point? It's stupid. I mean, the second they did it, I went, all you do is walk up the Lincoln Memorial steps. Well, that's what the reporters did. Or a tall tripod. Actually, not just a tall tripod. A number of folks have been literally standing and lifting their camera, and they're like, you can see everything. He's out of his mind. And the tarp, the requisition for the tarp goes through next year. So it looks like at this point, at least, they think the tarp is going up for 6 months. For 6 months, they're putting this up. Hang on, guys. I'm going to wipe my lens, see if that helps. Oh, that may help a little. I was getting like a flare, a camera flare on there. But I mean, he put up a tarp. What a child. What a just complete freaking child this man is. A tarp. Anyway. But of course, everybody can see through anyway. And there's no, as we said, there's no gash. There's no evidence of any gash. What else we got? Oh, attorneys for David Hearn. So David Hearn, I think, is the Olympic athlete guy who they arrested. And his attorneys said today that he took a photo of the reflecting pool, and the photo shows damage. And of the White House, Trump and his people were trying to say, aha, his photo shows his guilt. It shows the pool is damaged. The photo, they now have proof, was taken before he was arrested. Well, first of all, of course it was taken before he was arrested, right? Because he couldn't take it afterwards. The photo proves that the reflecting pool was already damaged. That before he reached down and touched it, it was already damaged. And again, legally, and this drives the MAGA people crazy, legally, you can't damage something that's already destroyed. You can't accuse him of $1,000 in damage of a reflecting pool that's already been destroyed, right? A sealant that's already ripped up can't be ripped. It's already ripped. It's already destroyed. So anyway, big deal for him today. He hasn't gone to court. I mean, he hasn't gone to court again yet. People thought he went to court today. He didn't go to court today. But this was a very strong thing in his favor. So we will see. Trump reversed the ICE ban today. So Trump decided to let ICE kill people again today. Yesterday, ICE got in trouble because they killed 2 more people in the last week, shot into cars and just killed innocent people, as they do. They've done it before. We know this. ICE kills innocent people. That's what they do. They killed 2 more innocent people this week in cold blood, murder. And to his credit, right, that Mark Wayne Mullen guy, the new guy heading up Homeland Security, said he was stopping most of the vehicle stops because they kept stopping people in vehicles and they'd shoot them. He said he was temporarily stopping the vehicle stops. The MAGA people went crazy and Trump reversed it. So Trump said, you're going to keep stopping vehicles. Thank you, Gene, for the unicorn. Appreciate the very nice gift. Thank you for that. Unicorn fantasy. So Trump reversed it and said, keep stopping the vehicles. He doesn't have a problem with ICE murdering innocent Americans by shooting them in their cars. Oh, well. Anyway, so that was fun today. Hegseth, Pete Hegseth did a video today. He's our defense secretary. He's got problems. He's a pretty boy from Fox News. His main credential for being Secretary of Defense is he's pretty on TV and has pretty hair. I don't think he's pretty. He's not particularly pretty, and his hair is not particularly pretty. But Donald Trump thinks he's pretty, and Donald Trump thinks he has pretty hair. And that's why Donald Trump picked him as Secretary of Defense. Well, Hegseth today announced his big new initiative of what he's going to do, right? Because he's on this big thing about how the Defense Department doesn't know how to fight anymore. It's all about girls and gays and trans people. And he was going to make them fight. He's going to make them shave their beards. That was his big campaign to make the Defense Department more lethal was to shave their beards. That was his big campaign. It's like, I don't think the problem in Iran right now is shaving our beards. Well, the other big thing he came up with today, they're going to test everybody at the Pentagon who's 30 years old or over, every guy who's 30 years old or over, and they're going to test them for their testosterone. And if their testosterone isn't up to par, they're going to get testosterone injections. I mean, it's literally RFK Jr. kind of science. It's RFK Jr. kind of science, right? Right? The problem in Iran is not enough testosterone. If we only had more testosterone, Iran, well, and what people said, which I didn't put in my video. So he's going to do gender affirming care, basically. Yes, exactly. The men need gender affirming care. They need to be coddled. They need to get their testosterone. I mean, it's just And he did this whole, and of course, I mean, literally, the video was like something. I can play part of it. It was a little long. The video was like something out of a raunchy. It's 2.5 minutes. We're not going to play all 2.5 minutes. It was like something out of a raunchy. What do you call those? Like the supplements, where this supplement will cause you to be 10 feet tall with big muscles, and you're going, yeah, sure. Hold on.
Department of War. We have the most elite warriors.
By the way, I want you to take a look at the shirt this guy is wearing. He intentionally bought a shirt that's 2 sizes too small. Look at the shoulders. The shirt does not fit him. He wanted a shirt that intentionally didn't fit him, so it makes him look muscly. Those creases in the shirt are terrible. They're absolutely terrible, the creases. His shoulders, those shoulders do not fit. Those shoulders should be over here. The shoulder crease is because he bought a shirt that's too small. Maybe if somebody's testosterone was higher, he wouldn't need to buy a shirt that's 2 sizes too small in order to make himself, shirt maxing, exactly. Shirt maxing, exactly. He's trying to look like he's macho. So he bought a small shirt. You know what they say about men with small shirts? I'm just making it up now, but you know what I mean? But literally, this is absolutely ridiculous, the tailoring on this shirt. And because of and you can tell, because of the shoulders, you can tell he bought a shirt that's too small on purpose. It isn't, the shirt fits, but he's got such muscles. He bought a shirt on purpose that doesn't fit because it makes him look like he's big, because the big boys want to look big. Yeah. So listen, okay.
Every single day, you are pushed to your absolute physical and mental limits to master the profession of arms.
Oh my God.
We demand your all, and you give it. But while we invest heavily in our weapon systems, platforms, and gear, our most decisive tactical advantage will always be the individual warfighter. We have a sacred duty to maintain that advantage.
Wait for it.
Which is why we must constantly look for new ways to optimize your performance, your resilience, and your long-term health.
Here we go.
And to meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best.
I mean, tell me this isn't a Saturday Night Live ad. Tell me this is not a skit on Saturday Night Live, which is our premier comedy show, ensuring you have the testosterone you need. I mean, literally, I was telling you this, it's either an infomercial
deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Because it's well-established
ensuring you have the right testosterone to make sure that you are at your best. They're going to, I mean, they're probably in summer right now though, aren't they? SNL's probably in summer, unfortunately. I mean, ensuring that it's like, I told you, it's like a mixture between an infomercial and a comedy takeoff, or Starship Troopers. That's a good point, WC. Yeah, it's very Starship Troopers as well, because you need to defeat the bugs. And the only way you can defeat the bugs is with the big T. I mean, oh my God. We're doing it one more time. I just think that is the best freaking thing.
To meet that commitment today, I'm authorizing a new screening program for testosterone deficiency for our service members, ensuring you have the right testosterone levels to operate at your absolute best. Because it's well-established science.
And then he goes on with about the well-established science, and it's totally bullshit. There is no well-established science. There's absolutely no well-established science here going on here. It's mandatory. Oh yeah, it's mandatory. Oh, it's definitely mandatory. There's no way he's not going to make this mandatory. I don't think this is voluntary. If it was voluntary, it already was happening anyway, right? If it were voluntary, you can already get your, if your doctor thinks you have low testosterone, that's already something that your doctor would test. So you don't need Hegseth to have a new policy that says if your doctor thinks you have low testosterone, you get a test. Doctors already do that. Well, the question becomes, if they find you have low testosterone, do they force you to get injections? That's the interesting thing. That will be the interesting question, because think about it. If you have low testosterone and he says low testosterone means you're not a good fighter, then what do you think happens if you say no? Right? You've refused to get the treatment to make you a good fighter. Thank you, Blue. Right? I think they try to kick you out of the military if you don't get it, because then you're not a good fighter. And this military is only for good fighters. Right? Anyway, all right. I mean, just insane, that clip. Absolutely insane. What else we got? Hegseth blocked more Navy promotions today. For the first time in a decade, no active duty female Navy officers are likely to be promoted to admiral this year. This year. He's just not advancing the women because they're girls. That's it. I mean, and again, they get away with it because this is just nonstop. Every violation they do, they're just not promoting women because women are girls and they don't want to make women admirals because that would be disgusting. Yeah, it's just sexism on its face. Yeah, that's what they're doing. What else we got? Trump's going to continue. Oh my God. Trump's going to continue the National Guard in DC now until 2029. It's going to cost $3 billion, by the way. They're not doing much. It's, I've lived in Washington for 40 years, give or take. It's not a safe town. It's never been a safe town. Trump is lying, however. He claimed it was getting dangerous. It was getting safer. It's always been a little dangerous, but it was getting way safer. The crime dropped significantly before he came. Then he brought the National Guard here. The National Guard is doing nothing. As Steph just said, they've been picking up litter. They've been planting plants. In my neighborhood, they're all over the place, just walking around. The other day, we were kind of pissed, actually. The other day, we were going somewhere, I forget where, and the National Guard was they had walked down a street, and there was a little alley, and they just stood in the alley to kind of rest. But because they were in the alley, nobody could see them. So they weren't out there showing them their presence. They weren't out there looking for crime. They were literally in the alley, hanging out, talking. And we're looking at them kind of going, like, what are you doing? We run into these guys all the time. They don't do anything. And the thing is, what annoys me is this is not a safe city. It's never been a safe city. The crime is lower, but it's never been a safe city. What they need to be doing is at nighttime walk around the neighborhoods. That would be great. During the day, it's stupid. You go to a dangerous neighborhood, maybe, but that's not where they are. They're in my neighborhood's an okay neighborhood. At night, I don't love it. During the day, it's safe. But they're walking around my neighborhood during the day. You don't need to walk around my neighborhood during the day. It's safe during the day. The neighborhood parks are safe during the day. That's where they walk. And you're just kind of going, why? Again, let them sleep during the day and send them through my neighborhood at night. That I would love, because I do not like, I wouldn't take my dog for a walk at night, for example. I would never walk around here at night. Have them do that, but God forbid they do that, because that would actually be helpful to fight crime. In any case, $3 billion he's spending, but the fountains are nice. Exactly. $3 billion he's spending, guys. $3 billion. To put these guys, and again, I mean, $3 billion is a lot of money. He doesn't freaking care. He just doesn't care. Yeah. Oh, Chicago too. They went to the Gold Coast. Well, again, in Gold Coast at night might be fine, but Gold Coast during the day, right? Lincoln Park isn't going to need it, or wherever, right? Yeah. No. This is, again, typical. E. Jean Carroll. So E. Jean Carroll, who just got her $5 million from Donald Trump, the one that Donald Trump sexually abused and he was found liable in court. She gave a statement today that cracked me up. Let me see if I can find it. I've got it. Hang on. I've got it.
I don't understand how people can be afraid of a fat, elderly man who wears apricot makeup, his hair done up like Tippi Hedren in The Birds, and sits in a courtroom and moans and groans and complains and snorts when the jury got a load of him. They were mesmerized.
Yeah.
You have never seen anything like it.
That's interesting.
He never sat still, and he
That's
talked
an interesting
the
point.
entire time
Yeah.
within earshot of the jury. He believed
Yeah.
Alina Haba Esquire, his own attorney. He would spit as he was talking.
Oh, I remember
he
that.
didn't smell so good. And the high point of
That's
Donald
funny.
Trump
That's interesting, actually.
was the moment he stood up with steam coming off his back and hot air blowing out his ears because Robbie Kaplan
Her lawyer.
was giving the final argument and she was asking the jury how much it would take to make him stop, and she drove him.
Oh, that's funny.
Kaplan's afraid of Trump? No.
Oh,
She
that's
turned it
funny.
around. She drove him so crazy, Jordan.
Oh, that's funny. So yeah, I don't remember. I don't think I watched all of this. So she just kept going after him and saying, how much money do you think it will take to make him stop? And of course, he was being an idiot the whole time, like she said. So the jury's looking and just going, this guy's nasty. Yeah. Yeah. Robbie Kaplan, like I said, was an attorney who I know professionally, but we had lunch like a decade ago. Very smart woman. I like her a lot. Very nice woman. But that's wild. Yeah. I love that. A fat man with orange makeup looked like Tippi Hedren from The Birds. Like the Birds is the Alfred Hitchcock movie, very famous about birds attacking people. And Tippi Hedren like had her big hair, and the birds kept attacking her hair. So imagine like a big thing of hair, but birds have like attacked it so that it's all over the place, like a bird attack. Right? Exactly. Apricot makeup. Exactly. Oh my God. She's too funny. Well, she's probably feeling good again. She got her $5.6 million. They released images today of Trump's new $1 gold coin because the economy doesn't matter. What matters is that Donald Trump gets a gold coin in his name and he's getting one. Yay! So Treasury Secretary Bessent released the image today. I love this. Commemorating 250 years of independence, the U.S. Mint will begin striking a new $1 coin, honoring the legacy of liberty and the lasting symbol of patriotism, featuring Donald Trump. Wait, let's read that again. Our Treasury Secretary says, as America commemorates 250 years of independence, the U.S. Mint will strike a new coin to honor the enduring legacy of liberty and a lasting symbol of patriotism. And that would be this, a guy who's got 34 felonies. What the hell does this have to do with our 250th anniversary honoring the legacy of liberty and patriotism in America? You put George Washington there. You put the Liberty Bell. I mean, we've got all these in our coins anyway. But you put a symbol of American liberty. It's literally, that's all this guy does. He doesn't do his job. He just refuses to be president. So the whole job is one big scam to this guy. He's there to make money. He's there to get his face everywhere, right? I mean, the list, I've got the list here. I've got the list of the things he's done with his name now. He's got his name everywhere now. Again, inflation, not working on that. Said he was going to stop all wars. He's actually starting all wars. Kennedy Center, put his name on it. U.S. Institute of Peace, shut it down and then put his name on it, or actually put his name on it and then shut it down. Battleship, I forgot about this one. He's creating a new class of battleship with his name on it, the Trump class of battleships. That shit better all get changed. The new passport has his face on it. Trump accounts, the new special accounts for kids, they have his name on them. Again, he didn't, lots of presidents create new things. He put his freaking name on them, on these accounts, right? Prescription drug program, it's called Trump RX. He put his name on it. I mean, just disgusting, right? Trump Gold Card, the $1 million that an immigrant can pay to buy his way into our country, it's called the Trump Gold Card. It's not just a gold card, it's a Trump Gold Card. National Park Pass, Trump's face on it. The Dulles Airport, he tried to swindle Congress. Remember, he wasn't going to let some money go through to New York unless we renamed our international airport after him. Dulles Airport, he wanted named after him. Unless they renamed New York's Penn Station after him. Unless they renamed the Washington Commanders' new stadium here in D.C. after him. Does he actually do anything? He put more gold in the Oval Office. This time he didn't put the little gold sperm, so we'll give him credit for that. He put these 2 little gold medals on the fireplace behind him. Some people noticed it the other day when some guy was there, and they noticed when King Charles was there, the medals weren't there. They're there now. So he's got like the gold sperm behind him on the fireplace. And if you look, there's 2 gold medals now that he used super glue, because there was super glue on his desk the other day. He typically uses super glue to do this. He just super glues stuff from Home Depot onto the wall of the Oval Office, because that's who he is. Yeah, lovely guy. There was CNBC did a survey of the 10 worst states to live in. All of them voted for Trump. Tennessee was number 1, worst ever. Texas, number 2. Indiana, Louisiana, Georgia, Utah, Missouri, Alabama, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Top 10 worst states. There's a new poll by YouGov that's kind of amazing. Shifting topics. Ukraine and Russia. This poll is wild. Good wild, but very interesting. So the poll is looking at overall voters. How do you feel about Ukraine? How do you feel about Russia? How do you feel about the war, right? Listen to this, okay? First, how do you think about Russia? Do you see them as an ally? Best of all, friendly, unfriendly, or enemy? Right? So ally, super good. Friendly, still good. Unfriendly, not good. Enemy, right? Democrats, ally, 1%. Friendly, 7%. So ally and friend, so positive, 8%. Okay? Unfriendly, 28% of Democrats. Enemy, 47% of Democrats. So Democrats, 75% say unfriendly or enemy. Okay? Republicans, and this isn't MAGA. MAGA's next. Republicans, ally, 2%. That's not much better. Friendly, 8%. Now, Democrats were ally 1%. Republicans, ally 2%. Democrats, friendly 7%. Republicans, friendly 8%. Not that different, right? Well, how they perceive Russia. Republicans, do you see Russia as being unfriendly? 33%. Republicans, do you see Russia as our enemy? 44%. Now, Democrats, unfriendly 28%. Republicans, unfriendly 33%. Democrats, Russia's an enemy 47%. Republicans, Russia's an enemy 44%. It's not that different. The Republicans overall had 77% negative towards Russia. Democrats were 75% negative, but that's because Democrats had a few undecideds. Those numbers are pretty damn close. But then you think MAGA. Okay, but let's look at MAGA Republicans. They're going to be pro-Russia, right? Listen to this. MAGA Republicans, what percent see Russia as an ally? 3%. MAGA Republicans, what percent see Russia as friendly? 9%. Democrats, 7%. Republicans, 8%. MAGA, 9% see Russia as friendly. That's pretty close, okay? MAGA Republicans, what percent see Russia as being unfriendly? Let me first take you back to Democrats. Democrats, Russia unfriendly, 28%. Republicans, Russia unfriendly, 33%. MAGA, Russia unfriendly, 30%. That's good. Democrats, 28%. MAGA, do you see Russia as the enemy? Democrats see Russia as the enemy, 47%. Republicans see Russia as the enemy, 44%. MAGA sees Russia as the enemy, 48%. More MAGA than Democrats see Russia as the enemy. I don't know what's going on here, folks. 78% of MAGA see Russia as the enemy or unfriendly. Only 75% of Democrats feel that way. MAGA is actually worse on Russia than Democrats, according to this poll. Now, the poll could be a little off, but when you look at the rest of the data in the poll, it all syncs up. It's the same thing. Okay? Who are your sympathies with in the war? Russia or Ukraine? Who do you sympathize with? Vote, or I should say people overall. Ukraine 62, Russia 4. Good, still not huge, but 62, but only 4% Russia, right? Democrats, 76% of Democrats sympathize with Ukraine. 2% of Democrats sympathize with Russia. Republicans, 57% of Republicans sympathize with Ukraine. That's still pretty good. 5% of Republicans sympathize with Russia. MAGA. Now you think MAGA could be trouble, right? MAGA. 55% of MAGA sympathize with Ukraine. 5% of MAGA sympathize with Russia in the war. That is fascinating because I think, ironically, Trump and Vance are more sympathetic to Russia than their own people are. That's a shocking poll number. Finally, should we provide military aid to Ukraine? These numbers are a little worse. They're still not terrible. Should we provide military aid to Ukraine? MAGA, yes 42, no 40. GOP, yes 40, no 38. Pretty much the same. Democrats, yes 67, no 17. No surprise. Independents, yes 47, no 29. Independents get more interesting because the yes is not great. It's okay, 47%, but the no's dropped to 29. So independents are confused and aren't sure. What this means is that MAGA and Republicans overall are still split 50-50 on aid to Ukraine. That's not bad. Considering we stopped aid to Ukraine, right, completely, the fact that they're split 50-50 is, and Trump is horrific on it, that's very interesting. Anyway, I think it's fascinating. And finally, today allegedly is 500 days since Zelensky was in the Oval Office and Trump told him, "You have no cards." Remember that? You don't hold any cards. It was 500 days ago. Since then, Ukraine has literally destroyed the Russian energy oil industry, and the Russians are in real trouble. Now, the war is still going on. You know, it's not like the war is ending anytime soon. But exit viewer wishes. No, go back. I don't know what that was, but it's still pretty damn good. Still pretty damn good. All right. Adjusting my camera here. Anyway, all righty. 6:46. We're done pretty early today. Well, let's hang and talk. So, anyway, so what else, guys? Are we exactly crazy glue? Oh man. Anyway, man. So yes, that was it for the news today. We did go by pretty quick, actually, 45 minutes. That's pretty quick. Anyway, yeah. So now we just hang and we talk. So, whatever you want to talk about. Any of the political stuff. No updates on Mitch McConnell. Not sure what's up with that. I watched a little bit of the Blanche confirmation hearing. A little bit. I saw him lie about Epstein. I just couldn't watch it overall. It was like, no. I was doing videos, for you guys like throughout the day, but I didn't want to watch it. I watched parts of it. I didn't want to watch it overall though. Tomorrow's speech is going to be a coup. So, that's good, Paula. It's a guinea pig. I was wondering what it was. I forgot what it was. Tomorrow's speech is going to be horrible. Trump's giving a speech tomorrow night. They're trying to get everybody. It's going to be, first of all, it's going to be a joke. This is what Trump does. He always does this. Trump always goes and pretends like, hey, he's got big news. There's never big news. It's always a lie. Most of his speech is going to be Trump bullshitting about something else. He's going to go on a tangent. He's going to try to get the press to cover him. He's going to try to get us to watch, and he's just going to bullshit. I don't know if I'm going to stream or not tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't decided because he's just going to lie. The problem is he claims it's going to be about the election. He's going to lie as a setup. I fear, and the experts fear, that he's setting us up for a national emergency, that he declares an emergency and takes over the elections. He's not allowed to, but good luck if the courts try to stop him. And he does that, and then we've just lost our elections. That's what tomorrow isn't going to do that, the experts think. The experts worry tomorrow is a setup for it. Tomorrow is a setup, because remember, our elections, we have free and fair elections in America. Even the Republican Heritage Foundation did a huge study, going back 50 years, and they found our elections are totally fair. We've had almost no fraud at all. We've had no significant fraud, period. We've had like 41 people who were here illegally, 41 illegal immigrants somehow tried to cheat. In 50 years, only 41 illegal immigrants tried to cheat. And not only trying to vote, it could be trying to register to vote. It could be trying to vote. So it's not even trying to vote. Some of it's just trying to register. Only less than one per year. We do not have problems with elections in this country, which thank God we don't. But he has to build the case if he's going to try to steal them, if he's going to try to take over our elections, which the president is not allowed to do. But he wants to invoke his emergency. And by the way, the whole goal here, the more I'm thinking about it as a lawyer, the goal here is they've already said they're going to claim, foreign governments tried to interfere in 2020. Yeah, we know that already, right? Russia tried to interfere for Trump. Iran tried to interfere against Trump. Both did a crappy job. It didn't make a difference. China considered interfering and then didn't. We all know that. This is not new. But he's going to try to claim foreigners tried to steal our elections, and therefore this is an attack on America, a war, literal war, and therefore the commander-in-chief needs to get involved. The courts are very loath of stopping the commander-in-chief from doing things. He's going to claim he's doing declares a national emergency as commander-in-chief because our elections are under attack by foreign enemies. Then what happens? Then he goes to court and it gets very interesting. It's bad. This is very bad, So, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know that I'm in the mood to televise him tomorrow. I don't know. We'll have to see about that. I'm really not sure about it. I don't know what that means, BT. I have no idea what that means. Anyway, yes, you should check your voter registration. That's for sure. That is true. He's doing it tomorrow night, 9:00. But I mean, again, Iran war, no updates. We're still at war. Oh, the big cool freaky gift again. Who is that? Spider. Thank you, Spider. I think that is the weirdest. Is that no? Is that the? That is the gift. Yeah, that's such a bizarre gift. I thought somebody hacked yesterday when I saw that. Thought that was the craziest thing. Thank you, Bowie. That is crazy. I don't know, Mrs. Navahalati. He said, what kind of guards can be put in place before this happens? I mean, the problem is he's going to send like the National Guard to the polling places to try to scare people away, Latinos and others. Well, what do? You know what I mean? You go to court, you try to stop it, and the judge says, don't do that. And for the 3 hours until the judge says, don't do that, they've got military at the ballot box scaring away Latinos. How do you get that back? So I don't know. I mean, some of the the election experts know more than I do. I mean, we're going to have experts at all the polls. We're going to have lawyers at all the polls or polling places, meaning, I mean, all of that's a given, but we do that anyway. This is it. The courts are our last hope. Yes. And I think it's getting more lawyers that are ready to and briefs ready so that the second he does anything like this, they're ready for it. But very scary. Safeguards, meaning law. What do you mean? Who knows what we don't know what he's going to do. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I'm very worried about the election stuff. Again, TikTok gets upset when we talk about this, but we have an election coming up. Kind of hard not to talk about it. Anyway, very scary stuff. Thank you, Joy. Yeah, we'll see. It's very scary stuff. Excuse me. Justin says, interesting story just broke by Carroll Leoning, who's very good. J.D. Vance got caught trying to use Marine 2, which is the vice president's helicopter, to fly his elementary school son across town for a golf lesson. His Secret Service detail is pissed and leaked the details. No way. Well, Carroll's good. Let me pull this up. Ooh. Oh, that's funny. Wow. Well, yeah, Aaron may have reported it, but Aaron's just getting it from other journalists. I want to see the original sourcing here. You always want to go to original sources for these stories. I mean, it's fine for me to report it, but okay, I'd love you to cite me as the source, but I'm not the source when I tell you a story. I'm getting it from someone else. You should always go and, I mean, Aaron's trustworthy and I'm trustworthy, but generally speaking, you should be careful simply saying, I heard someone repeat the story, except that Aaron's trustworthy and I'm trustworthy. So in principle, you can rely on us, but still be careful. What am I looking? JD Vance, Marine 2. There we go. Let's see. Vance's security detail fed up with hastily arranged personal and family travel requests. Oh my God. She's a good reporter. Oh, Vaughn Hilliard too. He's very good too. I didn't know Vaughn was part of it. Both of them are very good. On Thursday last week, Secret Service agents groused amongst themselves as they prepared to deliver another perk to Vice President J.D. Vance's family. Join a military helicopter crew to fly his young son to a golf lesson. The planned trip on Marine 2, the call sign for the U.S. Marine Corps helicopter that carries the vice president, was canceled at the last minute due to severe thunderstorms and high winds in D.C. Vance planned to travel with his son on the flight, according to those with knowledge, but the Secret Service staff's complaints about a planned chopper ride for an elementary school student reflects a building morale problem inside the team of agents assigned to shield Vance and his young family. Wow. Agents have shared concerns internally about Vance and his office, pressing them for trips and assignments that some agents consider inappropriate or even unprecedented. They're fed up. Let me see here. The helicopter cost taxpayers between $16,000 and $24,000 an hour of use. So that kid's little trip would have cost us $50,000. Wow. Let me see here. I'm grabbing little clips here because I am going to do a video on this afterwards. Wow. What's really interesting is that the Secret Service is getting pissed off and they're leaking to the press. That's very interesting. You've got to really piss them off to leak against a Republican president. Wow. He was going to take his elementary school son to a golf lesson, and he wanted to use Marine 2, like the president's helicopter, the vice president's official helicopter, at costing us $25,000 an hour to fly his son to a golf lesson. Wow. Man, but again, good for the Secret Service guys, spilling thank you, Justin, for that, spilling the beans on this. Wow. That's wild. No, they are arrogant. They think that they're the God. What was the divine right of kings, where the king thought they were appointed, the king and the queen thought they were appointed by God. These guys think they were appointed by God. They think this is their country. They think they own the White House. They think they own the fucking country. He thinks he owns Air of the Marine too, right? That helicopter is there for him. He doesn't care if he wastes $50,000 on his son flying him on Marine 2 for a freaking golf game. He doesn't care, right? Trump doesn't care if he spent. Oh my God, Trump made billions of dollars last year off of us. He doesn't care. Good. Chuck Schumer's blowing it up on the Senate floor. Good, Gilbert. That's good. That's good. Man, you are joking. Not a JD fan, but how should the son have traveled to the lesson? Or are you saying he shouldn't go? Take an automobile, ride his bike. Are you suggesting that children have no way of getting to lessons other than military helicopters? Have you ever been a child? Have you ever had a child? Have you ever known a child? Have you ever had a child or known a child or been a child that's gone to a lesson? I rode my bike. My parents drove me, or the Secret Service drives you in the car. But the car is going to cost a lot less than $25,000 an hour to take the damn car. No, are you being serious? Really? You can't call an Uber because, you probably can't call an Uber because it's the vice president's kid. He gets kidnapped, whatever. So maybe the vice president's kid's got to go with Secret Service protection. That's fine. You take a car. You don't take the helicopter, the most expensive way of a helicopter. Seriously? And if you're so far away that you need a helicopter, you don't go, right? You don't fly. The kid's taking golf lessons somewhere that you've got to fly? Who is he? Aristotle Onassis Jr.? Seriously. No, it's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, absolutely. But I can't wait to do the video on this one. Yeah, exactly. Imagine Barack Obama doing this for one of his daughters. Imagine. Exactly. I had a banana bike. Exactly. You all know I had my banana bike. Yeah, you've got to go with Secret Service because you're the kid. Take the damn car like everybody else does. Well, private lessons would be cheaper, Ken. Exactly. A private lesson is going to be cheaper than $25,000 an hour. That's a good point, actually. For $25,000 an hour, you bring the golf expert to the kid. I mean, my God. But again, you drive. The Secret Service drives a car. I mean, I don't know how much it is, but each of those agents can't cost that much. Even if you had, my God, let's pretend you had 2 Secret Service agents or 4, even for the kid. I doubt you have that many. Maybe you do a 4. They're not going to cost $25,000 an hour. The helicopter does. Actually, it doesn't even matter anyway. You know why? I just thought about this. If you take the helicopter or take a car, or take a bike, you have the same number of Secret Service agents either way. This kid needs a certain number of Secret Service agents to protect him no matter how he goes. So actually the helicopter is an extra $25,000, right? If he takes the car, the only difference is the price of the transportation. A car does not cost $25,000 an hour. A helicopter does. A car costs nothing. A car costs wear and tear and gasoline. That's all the car costs. The Secret Service agents are already paid for. The Secret Service agents are going whether they go by helicopter or go by car or walk or bicycle. Same Secret Service agents. So that cost is covered either way. And the kid, it does need security to go to the thing. But they decided to take the most expensive way for $25,000 an hour? Man. And exactly, we're so used to this shit because this is all these people do. Again, like we talked about before, they don't work for us. They don't do their damn job. He thinks he's a freaking king. J.D. Vance was interviewed the other day and talked all about it. Oh, I don't drive anywhere. I don't even shop. I don't even make my own food now. We have people for that, he says. It was so arrogant the way he said it, right? He wasn't saying it in it's kind of weird because, people are making your food and you're like, I don't want you making my food. He wasn't saying that. He goes, oh, I don't even make food anymore. I have people to do that. It's like, oh, good for you. You've got your slaves to make your food for you. Congratulations, JD. I mean, just like, woo. Totally, exactly. Imagine Kamala Harris talked about, I've got people to make me food. Oh, you'd never hear the end of it. You would never hear the end of it. Yeah. Right. I've got people to put on my mascara. It was like he was bragging. Did you hear it? It was a weird interview. It was a very weird interview of him talking about all the perks I get. It was like, oh my God. Yeah. Alexa, lower the temperature 1 degree. Yeah. No landing pad at Taco Bell. Explosive Taco Bell. Oh, it was incredibly tone deaf. But again, they don't work for us. They think this is the most plush job. I can't wait to do a video about this helicopter thing when we're done. That'll be my next video. Mamma mia. But yeah, Kamala Harris or Obama. Oh my God. Right? Oh, he's a weird guy, which I'm glad he is because he's going to have a hard time running for president because he's just a weirdo. Yes, we just talked about it, Avarice. J.D. Vance was going to use Marine 2, the vice president's official helicopter, at $25,000 an hour to fly his kid to his kid's golf lesson. And the Secret Service got so pissed off, they leaked it to the media. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how his polling is. There was new polling today I saw, but I don't remember anymore. It was polling for 2028 among Republicans. I don't even remember now. Because Don Jr. was on the list. And it was like, well, he wasn't doing well, at least. But I looked at it so quickly, it kind of went in and out of my head. So, oh, man. Or Nancy Pelosi, exactly. Well, I had heard about the Blanche testimony because he claimed that he was asked about, Mr. Todd Blanche, who wants to be Attorney General. And he was asked, well, have you met with the families or would you meet with the families, the Epstein families or the victims? And he goes, legally, I'm not allowed to. And Durbin of Illinois let him get away with that and moved on. And we're like, Durbin's a lawyer. What do you mean legally you're not allowed to meet with the victims? Why not? Like, he goes, I can't. It wouldn't be allowed legally. And they accepted it. He should have been like, really, under what law? Cite me the law that says you can't meet with victims of crimes. As the Attorney General, you're not allowed to meet with the victim of a crime? Really? Really? Like, seriously? Have you ever met with the president? You seem to be investigating people for crimes against him, and you've met him. Oh, my God. A restraining order. Okay, that was funny. That's very funny. Someone goes, restraining order? I'm not allowed to meet with them legally because they've told the judge, keep me away from them. Exactly. He met with Maxwell. Bingo. Exactly. Ken just said it, and somebody said it on TikTok too, Fur Baby. Exactly. Right. He was fine meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's little accomplice. That was okay. Yeah. Right. But he can't meet the victim, which again, that would have been the comeback Durbin should have said. Oh, well, you were fine meeting with Ghislaine Maxwell. So meeting the perpetrator is okay. You're just not allowed to meet the victim. That's the difference. So the victim's only mistake was not committing crimes. Had they committed felonies, you would have met them. But had they been victims of felonies, then you're not interested. He should have ripped him apart with that stuff. Yeah, exactly. The golf lessons on the White House lawn. Exactly, Kevin. Oh, man. Anyway, it's so hot here today. What's the temperature doing now? 97 still. Oh, God. It's 97 degrees. It's very bad out there. Tomorrow's going to be bad, too, and then the weather's back to normal again. I think this summer's, we're already July. Summer's already here, so I was going to say the summer was going to be bad. We're already in midsummer, so not going to be any different than it is. Anyway. Did Durbin? I like Durbin, generally speaking. Yeah, I read about that. The air quality, they were talking about the air quality could get, Canada has wildfire. Damn you, Canada. They have wildfires again. And they were talking about the air quality possibly getting bad down here again. I don't think it is yet. Not yet. But the sky turned orange a couple of years ago. It was crazy. Like that fires in Canada, and you could smell smoke. I remember you could smell smoke. That you could smell smoke in the air from a fire in Canada was crazy. I mean, Washington, D.C. And that the sky was orange. It was insane. Very scary stuff. It's orange right now. Where are you, Carroll, that you're seeing orange? It's not that. Oh, in New York, really? Oh, interesting. Okay. It's not here yet. Yeah, over in the UK too. DC air is very bad right now. I did not know that. I mean, I haven't been outside. Although, now that you say this, it's funny. My nose is clogged, which is interesting because that doesn't usually happen. That happens overnight, but that doesn't happen during the day. And I didn't even notice it until you said that. Like, for some reason, my nose is clogged because the air must be, something's going on in the air. Weird. Weird. Oh, but interesting. Oh. Anyway. Interesting. Okay. That's it. So then that's the problem. If it's hitting the states north of us, then it means it's probably going to come down to us too in the next day, which sucks. I mean, it's hot enough already. It's going to be 100 or 98 tomorrow and smoke or a fire. Damn Canada. Blame Canada. Anyway. Thank you, user 124. Appreciate that. Anyway. Oh, man. What else? What else is going on? I'm watching The Americans again. It's been very interesting. The Americans is thank you, Cricket. I was trying to figure out why my curtains behind me were moving. I'm like, what the hell is that? And then I realized it was the gift. That was funny. I'm watching The Americans again, the TV show, very interesting TV show about Russian spies living in America. And it's funny. I'm hating her so much more than I did the first time, the wife. I'm in the final season. Oh my God, I hate her. Like, it's kind of funny how much the second time around, I was having not sympathy for her, but because they try to make you sympathize with them being the Russians a little bit. And she's a cold-blooded killer, this woman. It's really just like wild. It's on Hulu, I believe. I think it's on Hulu. The Americans. Oh, excuse me. Oh. The Americans. It's an excellent TV show. It's been over for several years now. But it's about KGB spies. They're called, what were they called again? It's not irregulars. What what the hell are they called? We talked about this, remember? Because illegals, they're called illegals. And they're basically KGB spies who come over at an early age and they speak perfect English and they're perfectly culturally American. And they live here as Americans and you have no idea. Like these guys run a travel agency. You just have no idea that they're actually KGB. And on the side, they're sleeper agents. Well, but they're not just sleeper agents, because sleeper agents almost makes you think they're there. Like a sleeper agent, we often think of terrorism, where a sleeper agent is embedded waiting for an act of terror to commit. These guys are sort of active duty agents. They just, you don't know about them because they've got a public job like being a travel agent, and then privately at night, they're running around killing people as KGB. So they're not really sleeper as much as they're underground kind of thing. I would say they're not sleeper, but the concept is there. Really cool, interesting stuff. Yeah, that Greek CIA agent's a lunatic if it's who I think you. There's a good Greek CIA agent and a really bad one. Which one do you mean? Like one of them works for the Russians. He's the bad one. There's a good one, Polymeropoulos. He's the good one. That other one literally was working for the Russians. So that should tell you everything you need to know about him. So anyway, How to Make a Killing on HBO. What is that about? No, if it's the other guy, maybe he is a good storyteller, but literally he's worked for the Russians. You should not be tuning into him. Like, if he's the one I'm thinking of, that other one, was it Kyriakos or what the hell's his name? Like, ooh, I mean, if he's the one I'm thinking of, wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole. I mean, quite literally, he's worked for the Russians. Like, I mean, we don't even need to walk. Yeah, there you go, Kyriakos. Like, I mean, we don't even need to walk through this. You don't work for the Russians. You especially don't work for the Russians. If you're former CIA and you work for the Russians, you are not a good person in my book. There is no way. I had a security clearance for 5 years on Capitol Hill. I wouldn't touch the freaking Russians. Are you kidding me? And I was like low-level staffer guy with a security clearance working at the CIA, and then you go get paid by the Russians? Are you insane? Whoo. I mean, yeah, no, I'm sorry. Like, no, that just pisses me. I'm sorry, but he's one of my pet peeves. And I realize he probably is a good storyteller who has gotten paid by the Russians. Like, that tells you all you need to know. Yeah, you know what I mean, adult slime. I wasn't trying to get on your case, but you know what I mean? Like, there's something wrong with you, in my view, if you've got our background in that sense, and then you go, yeah, the Russian government entity wants to pay me, or an entity created by the Russian government or whatever. Yeah, that sounds good. And it's a propaganda organ of the Russian government. Let's go even further. It's not like it's the Russian superconductor chip industry, which you still shouldn't work for. It's literally the Russian state propaganda organ that they set up these private enterprises to do it, and you work for them? Their job is to attack America and take us down. Ooh, God. Oh, my God. Anyway, whatever. I know I saw a video of Ivanka that did look like Ivanka. Yeah, Melania. Ivanka's was good. What do you mean? Ivanka's, you mean Melania's English. Well, that's a whole other story, Dawn. Yeah, exactly. Those guys. I'm fine now, Carroll. I'm fine. Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. I know we're not really getting comments over there on Discord. I see JTA finally typing. No one's been typing over on Discord today. I don't know why. Has something not been working or what? Baron Trump has a Slovakian accent in English. Is that true, though? I've never heard him speak. My thermostat's not really the problem. It's just I've got a Nest, but the problem I think is I'm on a corner with sunlight, and the afternoon just gets winter or summer. I get hot and cold, hot and cold, hot and cold. It drives me crazy, you know. Oh, that's the show you were talking about, huh? No, wait a minute. Oh, you guys are commenting. It wasn't updating the comments. This is funny. The comments weren't scrolling. I thought nobody was commenting. You guys were commenting, but it wasn't updating the scroll on Discord. That's why I wasn't seeing the comments. That's hilarious. Okay, now I'm scrolling and seeing this. Death list of Iran. I did not see anything about a death list of Iran. Oh, the sky looks like in Brooklyn. Okay, it's just kind of cloudy. Yeah, we were talking about the CIA guy. Yep. Sorry, that's very funny. Yeah, no, Discord wasn't updated. Like sometimes it just doesn't scroll down, and I'm like, nobody's been commenting on Discord. You've all been commenting. I haven't been seeing it. Sorry, Substack, you guys are here. Comments are working on Substack. Yeah. I see it. I think now on Substack, maybe nobody's commenting. Well, no, that's not true. A couple of you did. Or maybe it's just you, Susan. Yeah, hard to say. Anyway. Oh, man. Oh, man. Anyway. What else is going on? I need to plan a trip abroad, I've decided. It's time. I'm going to Arizona next month. That will be at least a nice getaway. I'll have to do a couple shows I don't know. I may do some shows. I don't want to lose the momentum. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see whether I do shows or what I do in Arizona. Maybe do a couple. But I've got to plan some trips abroad soon, I think. But before full winter, unless I go to Argentina or something, winter, I don't want to, Italy. I went to Italy a year and a half ago. I'd go back to Italy. Are you kidding? I love Italy. Italy's my favorite. Are you in Arizona? Nice. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Got to go to Greece because I've got a lot of relatives and sort of the new relatives who I discovered in Greece. Remember I told you I do a lot of family tree stuff, and our family name is only our family. And there were these, it really is kind of an internet story. For years, for a good 10 plus years, there have been people on Facebook with my last name in Greece, and we don't know who they are. Now, our family's from Greece. We know the Aravosis is in Greece, but there are these young Aravosis kids on Facebook, and no one knows who they are. And my cousins don't know who they are. And I'm like, what the hell is that? Well, finally, a couple months ago, I cracked it. And I found I found an old census from 1856 in a town near our ancestral village, and I could read some of it. I had some other people, because the handwriting's very hard, had some other Greeks, as we call them, read it. And that was the final proof that I was able to pull it together and figure out that these people are a branch of our family, but where they came from. And we've now got a common ancestor from 1800 or so that I figured out. But up until now, I feel bad that my dad's gone, because he would have loved this stuff. I literally discovered a couple generations back that we didn't know existed, and discovered exactly the chain down to who these people are. And they freaked out too, because they were they knew their grandfather and that was it. They didn't know anybody before their grandfather. I found them their great-great-great-grandfather. Actually, it might even be their great-great-great-great. But I got them from grandfather to 3 or 4 greats. And they were the kid, it was so cute because the kid got back to, now the kid's an adult now. And he was like, my dad freaked out. He said he wants to meet you now. I was like, well, of course I want to meet your dad. So I'm looking forward to going to Greece, because I want to meet the new cousins. We have lots of family in Greece, but new family, that's a new concept. I've never found new family. And especially having the same last name is bizarre, because our last name is unique to our family. So that was very cool. I was very excited about that. So anyways, that was neat. So I want to plan a trip and plan enough time in Athens to actually, be able to sort of see all the relatives and everybody else. So we'll see. You think we have new cousins in Italy? How did you find them? I may go to Greece. And the thing is, I don't want to go too late in the year, because it gets if I go to Greece, I do kind of want to go to the islands and stuff, Hold on. Alexa, raise the temperature 1 degree. Yeah, I don't even know I don't know what they're going to call me. Theo. They'll probably call me Theo, I guess. Or if I'm younger, maybe they'll call me John. Depending how they perceive me. No, I know September's great. I don't know if I'm ready to go away in September, but, I signed my name I saw the video, Susan. I signed my name in English. I saw the video. That's funny you said that. The guy in Boston, a friend of mine showed me that video. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. because the girlfriend said he signed it. There's a video of a guy in Boston doing the paper, the oath of citizenship and signing the papers I had to sign, but he's doing it. She says he's doing it in English, but how else would you sign it? You know what I mean? I guess that's true. You could sign your name in Greek, but then the question would be what my name is in Greek. There's a debate as to what my name is in Greek because of the European Union rules. They're making us I just got Greek citizenship. They're making us translate our names in Greek, transliterating them and not translating them. The EU won't let us translate our name. So my name, John, is not, the EU will not let me be Yanni in Greek, even though that is my Greek name. And it's what my name has always been in Greek to Greeks and to my grandmother. My grandmother called me Yanni. I mean, that's what she called me. But the Greeks, they claim the EU, they're probably telling the truth. The European Union is requiring my name in Greek to be Zon because my name is John. So in Greek, John transliterated, meaning just translate the letters, is Zon. So Tzon is my name in Greek. Then it gets even worse. When I get a Greek passport, then they're going to put my name in English as Tzon. Like, thank God they only recently changed that so that you can ask them to put your real name too. So my Greek passport will have Zon in Greek, Tzon in English for a first name, which is crazy, Zon, and then John, John. So it's going to have 3 names on my Greek passport, which is crazy. But that's the problem is they say because of the European rules. And it's an interesting question, right? My name isn't Yanni in Greek. My name is John. I mean, my legal name is John. So in Greek, would it be Yanni? Not really. It's John, right? It's like if I go to France. Is my name in France Jean? Jean? No, it's John. I mean, so it's a funny question. But it's still kind of annoying because literally calling me Zon in Greek is weird, you know? I mean, when I meet Greeks, I tell them my name is Yanni. I don't tell them my name is Zon. I guess I could say John. John? John? I could say John. I could say John, I guess, yeah. But usually you just say Yanni. I mean, you say your Greek name in Greek, you know? Yeah, exactly. It's what Yaya said. But Zon, it's the funniest thing, Tzon. So but the question is next week, the woman's going to be working on my citizenship documents, my Greek birth certificate and all this stuff. And I'm a little nervous as to what she's going to come up with. So we'll see. We'll see. I may write my friend, Jean-Luc Picard. I may write my friend over there and say, would it be rude for me to ask to look at what she's doing before she puts the final stamp on it? I may actually write the woman and ask her because I know the other woman. And I think I'm just going to say that, look, tell me if it would be. I don't know the process, but I would like to just see the document before it gets the final stamp, just to make sure, because of it being foreign names and things like that. And ask the woman and my contact and say, would that be inappropriate? If it is, then don't ask her. And have her tell me, no, I could ask her, it's fine or whatever. Because I'm just really afraid as what she's going to do with all of this stuff. Even my mom. My mom was Mary. I got them to translate it as Maria because her name is Maria in Greek. But they were initially insisting Mary. And I'm like, my mother was born in Greece, has a Greek birth certificate. Her name is not Mary in Greece. It's literally Maria. I've got a Greek birth certificate to prove it. And finally they were like, okay. But mom's name pops on my certificates in Greece. When they create a birth certificate for me and a family record, it's going to have mom's name on it. What name are they going to put for mom? Even my dad's going to probably be Zorz. Zorz. So I'm Zon, actually that too. My name is going to be Zon Zorz. Aravosis in Greek. Because John George. Zon Zorz. Tzortz for George. I'm like, oh my God. It's crazy. Again, it's not the Siobhan. Yep, Siobhan. I was gonna say I can read your name because I've seen enough Irish or whatever. Yeah. The name is French? Oh, your name is French. Oh, that's funny, but you're speaking English. That's funny. Ioannis, exactly. Yannis or Yanni, exactly. But it's Zon fallen. I told you, literally, on my application, everything else in Greek, they required my document from my oath of citizenship. It says Zon Zorj Aravosis. Zon Zorj. And I'm like, but also you've got to be careful with the Greeks, because if I were to get them to put Yanni Yorgo as my name, I could get in trouble when I try to do something else. Because in the future, somebody could look and go, well, your official document says Yanni Yorgo, but this document says John Zorj. They're not the same person, and then you're in trouble. So I may let them do whatever fucked up thing they want to do with my name. You know, your name is Helen in Greek. Well, except your name is Eleni in Greek. It's not Helen, right? I mean, in Greek, it's Eleni. And what they do when you apply for citizenship, they put the name down as Helen. So you wouldn't be Eleni. You would be Helen in Greek, right? That's what I mean. Like, they take Greek. It's crazy stuff. I'll always be John to you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You were Troy. Oh, when you lived in France, oh, that's funny. You lived in France. You could either insist. They say it like Troy, which is interesting. Winch. I don't know winch. Or just give up and let them pronounce it like toi. That's true. Or toi. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Troy. Well, you could say Troy. Troy sounds, actually, Troy, winch. A winch, like a winch. That's a Troy? I didn't know that. That's very funny. Yeah, because Troy would be Treuille, Treuille, which the word, I never knew the word that was a word. It means a winch. That's funny. Well, even my name, John, I learned in France, because I've lived in France, I had to pronounce my name Jean, because I would say John and I would say Je m'appelle John. Well, John in French is, I think it's Jan, Jan, which is like a girl's name. So I would say Je m'appelle John, and they'd go, what? And I know they every time they get screwed up. So you always have to, in French, I have to say Je m'appelle John. And John is how you say John. And if you say John, they immediately go, oh, John. But it's the funniest, crazy thing. In France, you can't say John because John is Jan. Is that the only French you know, Invisible Ranch? Joyce? Yeah, Joyce would be funny. Well, I don't know. Would John sound like Jeanne? I'm trying to remember in French when I say Je m'appelle John, what spelling are you hearing when I say Je m'appelle John in French? Is it Jeanne or is it Jan? Or Jean? Je m'appelle John. But when I say Je m'appelle John, they always say, quoi? C'est un nom féminin? They always say that's a feminine name. That's a girl's name. Or, oh, it's the feminine name Jean. But, oh, like, it's the feminine version of, because they don't hear Jean, they don't hear Jean. They hear the feminine name. Trust me, I've been through years of this with the French. Because they taught me, they were like, no, you have to say Jun. And you literally say Jun and they all get it. And even my friends call me Jun. Well, actually, because first of all, my name, I think, is Jun in French. The way the French say the name John is they say Jun. So when you say something different, you're not saying what the French know. It's sort of like saying any French name the way we do in America. You know, you could pick any name, you know. Joyce, Sois. But that's Sois. Oh, that's funny. Although I wouldn't say that's quite pronounced Greek, Joyce, right? Because it's Sois. That's what there is no je. Yeah, in Greek. That's funny. Sois. Yeah, anyway, we'll see. Like I said, I'm gonna decide tomorrow about maybe tonight I'll write her and just be very nice and say, please tell me if it's inappropriate, because I don't know her. But because I also don't want to say, what if she gets it wrong? But what if she gets it wrong? Like, it's weird. It's weird having these American names becoming Greek names. And I just kind of want to make sure. And actually, I will say this woman's great, because we were registering my grandparents' marriage just because it was never registered civilly. It was registered with the church. but there was never a civil record. And she offered, which was very sweet of her. We thought we would need it for my citizenship. I didn't, but for my nephews and stuff, they might need it. So I was like, you know what? I wouldn't mind registering my grandparents anyway, just so that, again, there's an official register of their marriage from 1927, so that it's there. Well, she nicely enough gave me the document to review because I found lots of little things that were a little bit off, like where they lived. I was like, well, they didn't live in this town. They lived in this town. The spelling of my grandmother's maiden name, she spelled it a little different. I said, well, actually, she would spell it this way. And I gave her some examples. So it was a small thing, but it was useful to give me the opportunity to review the document because I found lots of little changes. And I was able to give the mother, it asked who her mother's name, she didn't know. And I said, oh, I know her mother's name is, Caterini. So she was able to put a Caterini in, which I think, again, for history's sake, I want that information there. But in my case, I'm just terrified that everything's going to get fucked up because they're translating American names into Greek. And I'm like, my last name should be fine. Even my last name, to be honest, but the last name should be fine. But my first name and my mom's name and, oh my God, my dad's name, I'm like, oh. So we'll see. We will see. But this is the last nervous hurdle. Once we get over this document, then I'm set. Then I'll apply for my passport. I'll be waiving my European passport. It is funny. It's very interesting to like when I read stories about Europe now, I was looking at the European heads of state at the NATO summit. And it was really neat to see them. Actually, I think it was that. No, this wasn't the NATO summit. This was, did the European heads of state have another meeting last week or a couple days ago? I saw, it wasn't like Trump in the picture though, or maybe Trump didn't go. But it's neat, looking at pictures of the European heads of state, because I actually felt this time like I belonged. It was weird. It was like looking at my leaders a little bit. It was weird. It was different. It was kind of it's interesting. It's interesting. Yeah. Does my last name have an English translation? Maybe. I've had a number of sort of the experts look at it. There are ideas. I'd have to look it up, actually. I'd have to look it up, but because we don't know for sure. We think, I'm trying to think. I've got to see where it is here. Aravosis. Hold on. I may have to put a little phrase in here so that where is this? I've got to find this actually, because I've got some of the, oh my God, I've got to find I can't find this now. I've got the document where we kind of, some of the ideas the experts came up with, but I'm not quite sure where it is. Oh my God, where is this crazy thing? Because the problem is I can't do a search for this. I'm trying to do a search and I don't think I put the right keywords in. It's pulling up all my recipes. This is hilarious because let's look under Greek passport. Here we go. I'm trying to pull up what they think my name was in Greek, but it's not totally obvious because I don't know where to find this now. This is funny. It's not this one. This is funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look. I don't know where this is now. Yeah. I've got it. I'm just not sure where it is. Like I said, all the different guesses on my last name. I've got it somewhere in here. I don't know where to find it though. This is funny. The problem is if you think of Google searching, you're trying to search for something, but you're not sure what to plug in to find it. And I'm trying to find what our last name means in Greek, but I'm not sure what keywords to use to find that. I don't know where to find this. Sorry, guys. I'll let you go in a minute, but I'm just like looking here for fun. Oh my God, this shows me that I better put some keywords so I can find this next time. This is funny. This is funny. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do a heavier search. I'm trying to remember, like one of the words was corn, but then I pulled up all of my crazy. One of the words is corn, but I pulled up all of my crazy recipes when I pulled that up. I was like, okay, that was not helpful. Pulling up my recipes. Let me try corn. It's pulling up my damn recipes, though. This is interesting, actually. I'm going to have to find a more... oh, it's pulling up cornea about my eye, too. This is cute. Yeah, I'm just not sure where to find this stuff. Okay, anyway, let's see. Now you've made this hard for me. I'm going to have to really figure this out. I'm going to have to do a search through all of this now to find this. See, this is the problem, is we still don't have, I think, like a good enough search function. We need to use AI to be able to actually go and find. Oh, here's one of them. Here's one of them. Okay, hold on. I found one of the documents. Thank you. Meaning of my last name. There we go. One of the possible meanings of my last name is, so it's Aravosis in Greek. Aravositos is corn. So Aravosis is my name. Aravositos is the word for corn or maize in modern Greek. So one of the thinkings was it could come from that. Now, there's other meanings of our name too, which I'm going to have to find as well, because I know I've got more than that. And I just am not sure where that is. But there were some other ones. I think people had come up with like there's a Turkish word too. There's a Turkish word which was arabatsi, which meant a cartwheel driver. I don't know what a cartwheel? I guess a cartwheel, one of those things you push that's got two wheels or one wheel in front. I guess that's a cartwheel. And in Turkish, a cartwheel driver was an arabatsi. And one of the thoughts, like a chariot, I guess, and one of the thoughts was that our family name might be Aravosi, Arabatsi. And it was Arabosi, actually. The family name used to be Arabosi, like pronounced with a B. So Arabatsi in Turkish and Arabosi in Greek, that's awfully close. A wheelbarrow, yeah, that's awfully close. So that one's a possibility right there. I'm actually going to like put little, now that I'm like finding some of these, I'm realizing I'm going to have to put, where is this crazy thing? Where are the stars? I'm trying to put stars on the top and I can't, there it is. I'm trying to put like some extra things on top so that I can find this next time. But there were a couple other ideas people had. Actually, I did find I think I told you, I found actually mom's family name had an interesting meaning that they think it might come from a Greek word for gun that was used because it was an Italian word and the Italian gun had the name on it. And people started using that, Greeks started using that word to refer to gun, right? It's like a Winchester, saying, oh, he picked up his Winchester or whatever. And they think it might have become a family name in Greece based on it, which I think is fascinating, right? So that's another one. I'm going to put some stars next to it so at least I can see it in the future. But yeah, no, our family names in Greece, we don't know. Like I said, we've got a lot of the history of the family that we've got, but the names we just don't know. A lot of Greek names are very obvious what they mean. Ours is not. All right, I can't find anything else now. Nope. And then Soris, of course. Yeah. All right. I give up. Sorry, I'm looking at doing all my Greek searching in front of you. Our family is from southern Greece in the mainland, but originally northern Greece. Like originally, the big chunk of our family comes from Epirus, which is, northern Greece near Albania. But otherwise, we're from southern Greece near Kalamata and Tripoli, but southern Greece, with, Peloponnesos, if you know Greece at all. Chakonis, right? Oh, Tsakonas. Oh, it's T. People from the eastern Peloponnesos. Okay. Oh, Tsakonia. Oh, that's it. I didn't realize that. Well, Peloponnesos is certainly easier to find documents. Yeah. That's been something that all of us looking for citizenship stuff, it was much easier for us. Just the records. Well, because how did you find the new Aravosis? Oh, you mean the new, we already talked about, you mean the new relatives, or what do you mean? What do you mean by that, JTA? Yes, I do know which one to use when I travel Zia. Yep. 3 days. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. No, we're very lucky. The region we're from kept, because we were liberated in the revolution. So our region became free in the 1820s. So there tend to be pretty good records-ish. I mean, it depends. But someday I want the village to let me go through the damn records and really go back, and just go crazy. Copying the old records and stuff would be really fun. Because like I said, I didn't even know there was a farmer's census from 1856. Yeah. Well, no, the new relatives we found on Ancestry. I mean, the new relatives, most of them I found because they had the same last name and they were on Facebook, and we were all going, what the hell's that about? Where the hell did you come from? And we didn't know. And they were like, and finally I got them to tell me who their grandparents were, which none of us knew. Then I forgot what. I started going through old Greek records that are online. The Greeks do have some records online. And there are old records for voting rolls, military, but also voting rolls. And the voting registers, again, for my region in the South, are online. You have to find them, 1871, 1856. They're not easy to go through because they're all in Greek and they're written. Actually, they're typed, though, which actually makes it easier. So I went through the voting records, and what do you know in going through those? I'm going through the village my Aravosis family is from, and I'm finding our people. And in going through nearby villages, I'm finding some Arabosises. And the nearby village is a mile away. And I'm like, so in 1856, let's say, or 1870, there's an Aravosis living in this town, and the next town over, there's an Arabosis, and they're not related. And I thought that was weird. So I copied all the records. I created a family tree for the other family, so to speak. Didn't fit in with ours. And I forgot, I can't even remember now what pulled it all. It might have been the family census. I don't know what. I sort of had an epiphany a few months ago and started finding more links and discovered it was a variation. It was a variation. Our family name was Arabosis, probably. Well, we don't know which came first, Aravosis or Arabosis. We think Arabosis might have come first, but bosis in Greek, B, is not a letter in Greek. In Greek, the letter B is MP. MP next to each other make a B sound in Greek. That's not a Greek sound. Per se, it's not a Greek sound. You had to put two letters together to create it. Well, when they overthrew the Turks, they wanted to get rid of names that weren't Greek because, right, God forbid you had a foreign name. So they think the family probably changed the name because it was Arabosis, and Arabosis meant you were foreigners. Why did you have a B in your name? Make it Aravosis. So that's what we did. Omega, it's Omega now. It was Omicron 100 years ago. Somehow it changed Omega now, so God knows why. But in any case, I don't even fully remember, JTA, what my final epiphany was, but I started finding that other, actually, you know what it was? I started finding more information. Well, I found the one guy, found his grandfather, might have found the great-grandfather, I think. The other family, all of a sudden, I connected them to the same guy. The other family, two of the branches of the family didn't even, forget my branch, two of the orphan Aravosises, as I call them, didn't even know each other. I figured out they had the same like great-grandfather because both of them had this relative who was a priest who moved somewhere else. And I'm like, wait, I read about that. Like Aravosis, who was a priest, found the guy, found their common ancestor, and then researched it, found an article about the priest. It was crazy. So I was able to connect those families with a common ancestor, but I wasn't able to connect them to us yet. That might have been when I found the farmer census from 1856 might have been the one that did it, because then it gave me the other family. I don't even remember now how I did it, to be honest, because literally it was several years of work, but it was a month or two that all of a sudden a couple pieces came together and I went, those are the same people. And I suddenly figured out that both me and the Aravosises in Athens we didn't know are descended from brothers from the 1820s. And the brothers, we know the names, we know their birthdays, the year. One brother went to one village, one brother went to the other. And that's how it started, that we were two different villages next to each other. And the father's name we know from the census or whatever it was. So again, it's hard. I almost wish I wrote down how I figured it out, because I don't even remember now entirely what was the final epiphany. But it blew my mind because I've been doing this stuff for 10, 15 years with the family history stuff. And just somehow it came together. And it was literally like these two other branches of Aravosises. I even contacted them. And initially some of them were like, eh. Like one guy last summer, somebody goes, actually, this is mom's side of the family. I'm dealing with some people on mom's village. And they go, oh, there's a guy that I know who actually is your last name. And he goes, it's this old guy from the village, but he's got your last name. Do you know him? And I'm like, no, nobody knew who this guy was. That was the beginning of him going, oh yeah, my grandfather, pop, 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 pop. Anyway, it was very crazy though. But I think but typical Greek too, though. Like he stopped corresponding at one point, and I was like, okay, seriously? Because like I had a few more questions on something, and I told him I broke it. I figured out who everybody was, didn't respond again. And I'm like, okay, do you think I'm out to get your property? Why are you not responding? But some of the Greeks are into it. Some of the Greeks are not into the family history stuff, unfortunately. But what do you do? What do you do? Anyway, but it was very cool. I know I'm going to go. Yep. No, my voice is okay, but I don't want to ruin it. All right. I'm going to go, guys. I will talk to you all tomorrow. Thank you for joining tonight. I appreciate you. We are going a little late here. All right. Exactly. Discord, I'm going to hang up on you. Bye. And then Substack, you're next. Substack and YouTube. Bye-bye. All right.